ANZAC, Dutch, and French, turn 5. The ANZACs are the only ones that have any money to spend. They're going to purchase a submarine and a destroyer for 14. There are 3 attacks being made, each by one of the powers. The ANZACs are going to load up their artillery from Java onto this transport, and they're going to go 1-2 into C-Zone 36 and take the island of Hainan from the Japanese. Because in this game it's actually worth 1 IPC. The Dutch are going to use their destroyer and go 1-2 into C-Zone 35 and try and kill that Japanese submarine. The French are going to use their destroyer and go into C-Zone 41 and try to kill this Japanese submarine. So there's only 2 battles to roll, so let's get right to them, the Dutch and the French. Okay, battle for C-Zone 35. The Dutch destroyer HNLMS Piet Hein is attacking the Japanese submarine I-172. So we have a 2 versus a 1. Hit. And miss. So the Dutch clear the sea zone and the Americans are no longer being convoyed. Okay, C-Zone 41, the French destroyer Tempête is going up against the I-159 Japanese submarine. Miss. 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 This is exciting. Hit. So the French destroyer is sunk by the Japanese submarine, and the Japanese submarine will continue to be a menace to the Sumatra Islands with a convoy. Okay, non-combat. The French Navy here, 2 destroyers, 2 cruisers, are going to move from C-Zone 92 up to C-Zone 109 to protect the Canadian transport in, just off the coast of the United Kingdom. In the Med, the transport in C-Zone 97 for the French is going to move down and join the rest of the Navy in C-Zone 98, the Allied Navy. The infantry from Greece is going to move up to Albania to join the Russian there. And then over here in Australia, the Dutch transport, the Australian carrier with the planes, and the Australian cruiser are going to go to C-Zone 54. The transport in 54 is going to come up, or transport in 62 is going to come up to 54, and the infantry and artillery from New South Wales are going to come up to Queensland. And I think that should be all of the movement. Okay, placement for the Aussies. They've just got the 2 boats to put in the water. They can only put them in one place. So C-Zone 62 is where those are going to go. New sub and new destroyer. The island of Hainan now belongs to the Australians. So they're going to go up to 15. So if we change the thing there, the Japanese have to go down from 31 to 30. And the Aussies go from 14 to 15. So they're going to collect 15 IPCs. So let's go around the board and have a look at where everything is. So in terms of French units, we have 2 cruisers and 2 destroyers in C-Zone 109. We have a transport in C-Zone 98, and we have an infantry in Albania. That's the extent of the French forces on the Europe side of the board. On the Pacific side of the board, the French have 2 infantry and an anti-aircraft in French Indochina, along with their military base, which they can't build at because they don't have any money. The Dutch forces, they have 1 infantry, 1 anti-aircraft, and 1 artillery in India. They have a destroyer in Sea Zone 35, and they have a transport in Sea Zone 54. The Aussies have in Sea Zone 62 a new submarine and a new destroyer, and in Sea Zone 54 a fully loaded carrier with 2 fighters, a cruiser, and a transport. In Queensland, they have 4 infantry, 1 artillery, and 1 anti-aircraft artillery. They're sharing the area with 5 United States infantry and an artillery, and then also a strategic bomber. There's also 2 American transports in 54. Other Aussie units on the board: infantry and mech infantry in the Philippines, artillery in Hainan, transport in 36, and as I mentioned, 2 infantry in French Indochina, and then we have 1 infantry in India. So that should be all the Aussie, French, and Dutch forces on the board. So that's the end of turn 5. We are going to go to turn 6 next. And first up will be the rolling for the new spy in turn 6. And then Germany, minor Axis, and Finland have to deal with some of the developments. Germany's kicking themselves that they screwed up with that defensive England thing. But turn 6 on the way.